assets at London Real. We love Bitcoin, we love crypto, we love anything that your government can't print more of and make it more worthless. And I'm actually heading to Dubai in about 10 days. Nice to see you, Zoom attendee. And what we're going to be doing there is sourcing some incredible property deals. And so, look, you might have invested in property in the past. Maybe you've had one or two experiences or investments, and now you want to find out what you can do to really take it to the next level. That's exactly what we're doing here. And so I want to talk to you a little bit tonight and give you a presentation as far as what we're doing. This one's hot off the presses. Like I said, make sure you turn those cameras on so I can see these beautiful faces. Javier, let me see you. Ray, let me see you. And Koyo, I got to see you as well. You know what's up. And it's always the good looking ones that have their cameras off. It never makes sense to me, Mark. You know? And there's Koyo. There he is. I mean, if I look like me, my camera would be on all the time. So I never understand it. But it's great to be here. And Koyo here is actually one of our members who just joined the program I think about a week ago. My Bulgarian brother, because everyone knows I'm half Bulgarian and half American, because my family's all half. And nice to see Kate as well. Kate's a graduate of our Crypto and DeFi Accelerator. So, Koyo, great having you on the inside. You and I have been chatting. And look, we should be closing this first deal probably, I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's a great deal. It's in the investor portal that Mark talked about, but of course, that's only for members. Look, folks, let me jump in and talk about why I'm so excited about this opportunity. I'll be on the ground in Dubai in 11 days, sourcing the hottest luxury transformation deals, and I'll explain what that's all about tonight. I'll be there for the next 4 or 5 months, really with one gain in mind or one play in mind. I want to find the best opportunities and make our members the most amount of money. That's what I'm there to do. We've already done that in crypto over the last 4 or 5 years, and now we're going to also be doing this in luxury real estate. So let me jump on here. If you have any questions, put them into the chat. I'd love to answer your questions. You can ask me anything. You know, nothing's off limits, nothing's too personal, but maybe the presentation would be a good thing, but ask me whatever you want. And at the end, I'll answer questions. So here we go. I'm sharing this thing on the screen. Raise your hand if you can see a very happy guy overlooking a bunch of property. Do we see this here? Mark, do you see this? Okay, good. So look, the headlines are everywhere in the news, but billionaires are snapping up the Dubai luxury property. And I'm going to show you how you can make money off of this phenomenon, right? So maybe you're not a billionaire. None of my business if you are, Koya. That's all good. I don't judge. But the fact that even if you aren't, you can make money on the fact that they demand what we call turnkey luxury properties. And I'll explain exactly what that is. Now, I've been going to Dubai now for coming up on 5 years. I know guys with 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million houses. I know a guy with $100 million in cars. Isn't that crazy, Mark? And so I know these people, and a lot of the Bitcoin billionaires have places right on the palm that you're looking at here. Frond F, Frond G. I've been to all of these. And so I know what they want. What they want is they don't want to mess around. They don't want to do development. They don't want builders over. They don't want to fix things up. They want to write you a big fat check and get a place that's bigger and better than anybody else's place. That's what they want. And that's exactly what we're going to be creating and making money off of in this program we just created. So I want to jump into this. Before we get started, just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only, not intended to be investment advice. If you're looking for that, please go find a professional. I also want to give you this free video, which is how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. I'll give you a link at the end of this presentation in about 30 minutes. It's free. You can go watch it later, but I think it'll really blow you away. So first of all, who am I? A lot of you guys probably know me, men and women, but some of you think you know me, but a lot of you probably didn't realize I started my career on Wall Street in 1993. I know, I don't look that old, but that's when I started. And I spent 15 years on Wall Street. I actually worked in Chicago. I worked in London. I worked a little bit in Tokyo. And I worked in capital markets. I worked in derivatives and derivatives trading. I worked in trading, broking, you name it. And I really understood how people make money in this business. And I'll explain to you the secret that a lot of people don't understand on how the big money is made. And it's not about what you know, it's more about who you know. Then after that, I quit my job kind of famously in 2010, 11, and I became a YouTuber, as I tell my 9-year-old and 8-year-old son. And that's what I've been doing for 15 years. I'm just one of those crazy YouTubers. And what happened is I ended up interviewing over 1,000 of the greatest minds on the planet. Some of them the greatest real estate minds on the planet as well. So I got some great mentorship along the way. Of course, the last 5 years, I've been going to Dubai to invest in blockchain and crypto. And I also started to get my head around the Dubai property market and the luxury market. And of course, now We have a massive channel with 1 billion views and 5 million subscribers, and a lot of people know who we are. Like a lot of people know who we are. From running for mayor of London to fighting against trillion-dollar tech companies for freedom of speech to me jumping in the ring at 54 years old and fighting these young punk kids. You name it, somebody is sort of us, somebody has an opinion of us, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but they definitely know who we are. And these are some of these people. Grant Cardone, who's a legend in the real estate market, has over $5 billion of assets under management. I guess we're both looking a little bit younger here. And Grant's been coming on the show since I think 2018. I really love Grant. I've had him and his wife Elena on the show. I've had his pilot in the building, the whole thing. And I really love Grant. He's always been very vulnerable with me and very honest. And just being around him teaches you how you go big in real estate. Of course, Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, he's a legend, right? He's actually a very good friend of mine. We text all the time. He's in his 80s, but he is one of the OGs when it comes to owning property and owning real assets. Robert owns gold, he owns Bitcoin, and he owns property. He doesn't trust anything that Wall Street sells. And after working for Wall Street for 15 years, I understand. I don't either, quite frankly. I trust real assets. And that's why we always get along. This is a guy named Jim Rickards. And he is also a legend. He wrote a book called Currency Wars and regularly runs war games for the CIA that are financial war games. And he's an incredible guy, extremely smart, has written many, many books, and is also very good friends with Robert as well. And he's taught me a lot about money. And of course, a lot of you know Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man. I was accepted and put on his wall of fame up in the castle at Scotland, and I've been to his QLA seminar a couple times now and at his birthday parties as well. And a lot of people know us. We're pretty famous, the two of us. But Dan taught me a lot about how to make money by taking calculated risks. So why Dubai, folks? Well, first of all, it's the number one destination for global wealth migration. And I'm going to show you a chart after this that's going to blow your mind, right? Number two, there's a severe shortage of what we call turnkey luxury supply. What does that mean? That means I can go there and literally get the keys and walk in to a gorgeous villa that is basically ready to go, right? I don't have to redo the pool. I don't have to redo the kitchen. I don't have to, nobody wants to do that. And trust me, if you're trying to sell your wife and your kids on Dubai, they're not going to want to do it either. And so you want these things to be turnkey all the time, right? Very, very important. And look, Dubai is a market built for high performance returns. Why? Number one, zero personal tax. How you like that, Kate? Can you even imagine zero personal tax, right? Right? Kate's in the UK with me, and trust me, it's not zero, it's going up probably with this government. No capital gains tax. How you like that, Kate? I know Kate has some property investments. No capital gains tax. No stamp duty either. They wouldn't know what stamp duty it was if it hit him in the head over there. All right. Rapid economic growth. This is a royal family that wants to take Dubai to the next level over the next 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 years, right? It's in their interest and their family's interest to never let their foot off the gas. And these people don't play games. They run the government like a business. It's amazing to watch. It's actually inspiring for someone who's done a lot of things in my life and maybe accomplished certain things. I go there and I feel like I'm just getting warmed up because it's an impressive place. And of course, there's cash-rich international buyers. They come from Russia. They come from Ukraine. They come from Israel. They come from London. They come from America. They come from everywhere, everywhere. And they're going to keep coming to Dubai. They're just going to keep coming. And one of the evidences of this is this chart here. And you can see on the right here, the global millionaire migration in 2025. And you can see what happened. There are basically 142,000 millionaires will relocate this year worldwide. What is the place that gets the most? Anyone want to guess? I guess you can see it, right? Big surprise. The United Arab Emirates, of which Dubai is one of those 7 Emirates. 9.8 thousand millionaires move there. So you guess there's probably a few billionaires in there too, right? Of course, you go down the chart. Italy's a big one here in the UK now because there's a little bit of a tax treatment and you can stay in Europe. And if you go all the way to the bottom, what do you get, Kate? You get us in the United Kingdom, right? Because what's happening? They're increasing their taxes here. The Labour government's coming in. And also, it's getting to be a dangerous place. In London, you can get robbed. You can get stabbed, right? The NHS is breaking. The transportation system is broken. And so people are saying, why would I stay here when I could go somewhere else and get value? And maybe they would actually use my tax dollars. I know people in London that say, I wouldn't mind paying the taxes if there was a police force, if there was medical care, if there was safety, but there's not. So what am I doing? And so this pretty much is the story of how we're going to make money over the next 2 or 3 or 4 years. Everyone wants to go to Dubai. All the wealthy people do, and they all want turnkey luxury solutions. And of course, Dubai combines tax freedom, security, infrastructure, and lifestyle. And that's why everyone's going there. If you haven't been there, by the way, how many people have been to Dubai? Raise your hand. Can I just see? Kate knows, and Javier knows. Nice. You know, Kate, I've been surprised. Oh, and that's it. I've been surprised. Very few people that I've been holding on my master classes have been there. And I think it's a bit like crypto, Kate. When you're in crypto, you think everybody knows crypto, but you realize it's only 8% of the world. And with Dubai, you realize very few people have gone there. Let me say to everybody here, it's not what you think it is, and it's not what the media has told you it is, which of course isn't true about anything, including me and including all these people. Until you go there and really experience it, you really won't understand it, and you'll just go by stereotypes, right? And that's never fair for anything. Go there and feel the vibe. What I love about it is something no one ever talks about. What I love about Dubai is it's a nation built of hustlers. Everybody in Dubai is hustling. Everybody. From the cab driver to the Deliveroo person to the American doing crypto deals and property deals like me, everybody's hustling because if you're not hustling, you're not allowed to be there. And so it's got a vibe of everyone's making things happen. Everybody wants to be there because being there is better than their home country. People always say, oh man, they don't treat the workers fairly. Well, trust me, if they weren't treating them fairly, they would go home and they stay there. And so everybody wants to be there. And it's a weird thing. You know, Kate, I came back to London the other day and I saw something I hadn't seen in 6 months. I saw a person walking slowly on the sidewalk. I kid you not. They were just kind of like rolling just down the street. And I was like, wow, I haven't seen that in a long time. What is that? Because in Dubai, there's none of that. I know it sounds silly, but everybody's moving fast. And His Highness has an expression. And he says, when you wake up in the morning in Dubai, whether you're a lion or you're a gazelle, you run. That's what he says. I love that. You run. And that's what we do there. And I like being around that energy, quite frankly. So what's a luxury transformation? I was alluding to it earlier. It's a targeted upgrade of a premium property. So for example, we take one of those villas on the Palm we saw on the front slide. It's already nice, but it's 15 years old, right? And if you're a billionaire, you're not going to want to walk in there and you're sure as heck not going to sell your wife and kids who are very happy in wherever city you're in to come to some place in the desert they never heard of. So you want it perfect. So you get it perfect and you walk in and it's ready to go. Matter of fact, it's the most beautiful house they've ever seen. It's Instagrammable and all their friends are immediately jealous. This is how you sell your family on Dubai. Trust me, I've tried. Number two, it's designed to match what global buyers want, right? These are high net worth people with high demand, and that's why they're coming in to do it. And of course, it's our strategy to unlock significant wealth. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to unlock this wealth because of this. It's quick turnaround time. We don't have large structural issues. We're not building from scratch, right? The Jebel Ali is that new palm they're building next to the old palm. I mean, they've been working on that thing for 10 years. It's going to take another 8 years to get the houses done. We don't have that much time. I don't want to wait 2 years for my returns. I want it back quick. I want it back in 12 months, 16 months, 18 months. And so you can do that because you come in, no structural changes. I mean, you maybe rip out a wall, but you're not putting in, major things, structural things, and you give it an upgrade, right? And it's gorgeous. And then we sell it. That's what we do. And it's giving out high performance returns. And I'll show you a couple examples. Folks, what we're seeing is 40 to 90% returns. And those are incredible because the S&P 500 will do 15.6% this year. A really, really good hedge fund in a really, really good year might do 20. So this is kind of unheard of. And the truth is most people don't even know these deals are happening and they can't get access to these deals. And so let me just show you a quick video that if I'm not doing a good job of explaining, might give you a little bit more of a visual as far as what we're doing here. But this is what we're looking to do here in Dubai.
Dubai real estate is exploding, and the biggest money is being made where almost nobody is looking, in premium luxury transformation projects that have historically delivered 40 to 90% annual returns. That is incredible. For years, these opportunities were locked inside private networks. You never saw them. You never had access until now. I've spent 15 years on Wall Street and 5 years studying Dubai up close. And today, for the first time ever, you can invest directly alongside my team. We have just received a brand new project with real potential for outsized returns. And early allocations always fill fast. Click the link and apply now. Your opportunity starts today.
Boom. So that's what it's all about. Access. By the way, Mark will put the clickable link in the chat right now. It's pretty easy. It's londonreal.tv/Dubai. But that's really what we're doing. And it's really about access. Now, I kind of alluded to it earlier, but maybe I'll go a little bit deeper on it tonight. And it's something I really learned on Wall Street as well. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. Cool. Back to the presentation here. It's really more about access. And by the way, here is a case study of a recent deal. All right, everybody can see this, right? Am I coming through here? We see the beautiful palm there. Okay, good. So this is a great example of what we're doing in our pretty much our next three projects. I think we got one palm villa and two things in inland. But this is the example. Acquisition price to buy literally one of these palm villas, they're all on the beach, of course, about $7.1 million. Put in 6.3 million in renovations and permits. So the total spent was about $13.4 million. 12 months later, after all the work was done, we sold it for 25.9 million and did a 93.8% return in 12 months. Okay. Now look, this is on the high end, but this actually happened in the last 16 months. All right. By the same people we're working with on this current deal. And so this shows you what can happen. Now, are we going to get 94% returns every time? Probably not. But we could also do higher than that because if you sell it for 27, 28 million, you can see how it just goes up. And so, depending on how hot it is, depending on also what media platforms, as in London Real, could potentially promote the property, you might even get more money for something like this. But this is literally what we're doing behind the scenes. Folks, here's the news that I was alluding to today. The world's wealthiest keep choosing Dubai for luxury homes. All right. They want to come here. It's got the tax treatment. It's got the tolerance. It's got the safety. It's got the security. It's got the growing economy. I think they did the math, Mark, and Dubai is a 3-hour flight away from 5 billion people on the world, in the world. Something like that. It's like proximity to the largest masses of people in Dubai, and it's a great place to do business. Of course, we know about 4 or 5 days ago, Dubai hit a new world record with the Middle East's most expensive penthouse sale for $150 million. And it was the penthouse of the Bugatti residences. Now, I know that might sound weird, right, Kate? Bugatti's a car company and yet they're selling real estate. But in Dubai, that's a thing, by the way. There's also the Chelsea Football Club building that's going up. You know, there's all the brands now have buildings. And it sounds counterintuitive, but it actually works. And the building they're creating is gorgeous. And of course, Bugatti is a super premium car. Definitely see them in Dubai. My buddy Carl Moon has one. They can go anywhere between 2 to 5 million bucks per Bugatti. And so this was incredible. Record price of $3,172 per square foot as well. This literally just happened a week ago. Of course, we also know that the Dubai luxury property prices of $10 million homes and above have surged 54% in Q3. So this just keeps going up and up and up and up. And I'll tell you my theory on that. And then, of course, we know that Dubai now outshines London, Miami, and Phuket. It really is the place that people are going to, even over those cities. And we know that's true. In London, you're not going to find really beautiful, gorgeous, flashy, brand new homes like that in London. You're just not. And I know this city pretty well. Miami, maybe. Phuket, probably not. And then there's a whole lot of reasons not to be there as well. And then, of course, why? Well, it's residency visas and it's just returns. People are making good money in these investments, and there's no capital gains tax and no personal gains tax as well. And of course, this article here celebrated the fact that real estate sales passed 17.5 billion in November, and the transactions jumped 31% in November. So it's strong demand across apartments and villas. A big surprise there. We know that. What are our latest deals? Well, this is one of the deals we're working on as we speak. We're projecting about a 60 to 80% return. This one is located inland. They have these places that are by golf courses and have lots of water, very family friendly. It's very cool, actually. They have country houses and country clubs and all this stuff. It's filling up quickly, high demand location, perfect timing, and it's again a perfect transformation project. This is available to people like Coco who are in the club, but anybody joining can get access to this. I want to close this. I mean, ideally before year end, but maybe it'll be first week in Jan, but it's happening right now. Also, we can miss these deals. And we were trying to close another deal, I think, about a week ago, and it filled up and we lost it. And so, look, the smart money's coming in here. And it's very possible that someone else might get wind of this, and a wealthy Russian there would say, "Well, how much do you want? 10 million bucks, and you're going to give me a 70% return? I'll take the whole thing." And then, I get a call and they say, "Brian, sorry, it's gone. So you have to move fast." So we have to move fast. We know that. We're going to get ready for this next one. And then we're just going to have the whole system in place and all the members ready to go ahead and pull the trigger on these deals. Folks, these kinds of returns are incredible. Again, I spent this time on Wall Street. I spent this time in lots of other financial markets, and you just don't see this, especially for the low risk investment that property is. There is risk in property, but at the end of the day, you own the underlying asset, and that already has a tremendous amount of value and security. So look, how does London Real get access to these deals? Everyone's asking me that. And the truth is they're not giving us access because of my pretty smile or my suits and ties. All right, they're doing it for one reason. They see a massive media channel that they're going to get access to. It's that simple. Does that make sense to everybody here? Javier, makes sense. Koyo, you kind of get it. And look, this is what we've been doing in crypto for the last 5 years. Our media channel has attracted the hottest deals, and it allows us to say no to all the other deals. So, these real estate folks in Dubai, they're not stupid. And they see this and they say, wait a second, they can do two things. They can bring us investors we've never seen, and they can bring us exits we've never seen. If people see this property on Brian's Instagram account with 1.5 million followers, if they see that on his YouTube account with 2.25 million followers, maybe, maybe we get a higher price. And 10% higher is going to make you an extra 20% on your money, right? So that's real money for you as well. And so the reason we get this is because we've been spent the last 15 years building this channel. And I always say success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We've been preparing this incredible channel. Some call it a movement with people like you that are here, that are really more like family, that have followed us, through the good and the bad, right? Koya, you said you and your wife were following us, during the crazy lockdown times. And, I meet people in Dubai that stop me on the street and say, "Brian, you really saved my mentality. Back in 2020, I was in Dubai, I was in Thailand, I didn't know what to do, and I watched your interviews, or you inspired me with David Goggins or Wim Hof or whatever." And so these people know who we are, and they want to do business with us, and they want to be involved in this opportunity. So that's why we have this, because we built something, and we built it very seriously. And I'm very choosy about what we choose to invest in and what we choose to publicize. And so this is one of those things. Folks, a lot of you maybe have seen this Drake meme before, but I always like to say it. Drake on top is trying to invest on property on his own, and maybe he's buying an apartment here, and maybe he finds himself fixing toilets on weekends, and maybe he's trying to buy property in another country, and he finds himself that the laws and the lawyers and all the other things just squeeze him, and just really has a bad experience. Or there's another way of doing this. You can invest alongside us and London Real through SPV structures that are transparent and audited, and also through a brand that, let's be honest, I don't think anybody wants to mess with, because you don't want to be messing with our brand because we're big. And so I think there's a better way of investing in property through an SPV, through a minimum of $10,000 investment, and get the returns in a country is hot without having to move there or go through all the nonsense. And folks, we're calling this the luxury property investment circle. And I call it the most powerful money making opportunity I've ever seen, because it is. Um, we have minimum $10,000 investments. We've been seeing in the past between 40 and 90% returns. We can't guarantee those, but that's what we've seen in the past. And if you want to apply for this, you can go to londonreal.tv/Dubai. Mark will stick a link in the chat as well. It takes about 30 seconds to apply. First name, last name, email, phone number, a little bit of a range of what you intend to invest, in about 10 or 20 words of why you want to join the circle. We will then do a little analysis on you, and watch how long you've been following us, how many times you've been to the website, what episodes you've been watching. And if you've also joined some of our programs in the past, like the Business Accelerator or the Crypto and DeFi Academy, that all makes a difference to us, because we want people that really believe in our mission. I would rather have 10 people that believe in our mission, worth $1 million, than one person who doesn't, worth $1 billion. I don't have the time for it. I'm too old for that. We want people that really are with us, that want to do this with us for the next 5 or 10 years and compound their money into really huge chunks of wealth. Because of these kinds of returns, if you compound that 3, 4, 5 years in a row, you're talking about really doing some nice returns on your money. 4x, 5x, it can really start getting interesting. So go ahead and apply. I will evaluate this. My team, Mark here, we all look at this. We'll give you an answer between 24 and 48 hours. Look, folks, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London last year, and I did it because I love this city. I've been here for 20 plus years. My children were born here. I became a citizen, and up until a few years ago, I was planning on being buried in this city. And I love this city. I tried to change it. I ran on a pro freedom of speech, pro crypto platform, but the truth is that it's just not the same place that it used to be. And at the end of the day, you can sit around and listen to everybody complain here, or you can go change it up. And that's what I've been doing for the last few years. I built our studio in Dubai. It's called London Real in Dubai. We've been broadcasting there from the last 2 years. Some people like this studio better. I don't know. The flags are a little bolder there. Let's say that. And I've been interviewing some of the top people in crypto. This is Carl Moon, the Bitcoin billionaire who has the Bugatti. He also has some luxury properties I've been hanging out with. And this is Chris MM Crypto. He has one of those villas on the Palm as well, another Bitcoin billionaire. And so I've had amazing people on the show and also people that buy luxury property. And I've been listening to them, going to their houses and finding out what they want. And they want exactly this. They want turnkey properties. That's what they want. They got busy, their busy lives with busy people. They want something gorgeous, something they can flex with if they want, and something that's just going to be very, very special. And that's exactly what we're going to be building. Folks, right now we're investing over $3 million into these luxury refurbishment deals this quarter. All right. This is going to be up until the end of March. So we're going to be heavily invested, and I expect that to ramp up every quarter for the next year and then after that as well. And it's all because of a structure like this. London Real Ventures is the world's first media-powered investment firm. It's what happens when you take the London Real Media Company and you combine it with a venture capital firm. We did this in crypto and invested nearly $25 million in capital. This has never been done in history, where you take media and capital and you put them together. Magic happens. This is a brand new world here. No one's done this before, right? You got Jake Paul, a YouTuber, now one of the most popular boxers in the world. No one thought that could happen. So it's amazing what you can do with media when you bring it into other industries. You can create a brand new industry, and that's exactly what we've done. By doing that, we created this portfolio, which is over 100 different blockchain and AI companies, each one of these with the potential to become the next $2 or $5 billion protocol. Some have already become multi-billion-dollar protocols since we invested in them. This is one of them. It's called Skillful AI, and that token was up 20x at the launch and made my group a $4 million profit. This is a company called Shrapnel. This one was up 20x in 20 days and made our group a $5 million profit. This is the Mochaverse. This thing was up 20x on the launch, and here I am with their billionaire founder, Yat Su, who's really an incredible guy. He's been on the show a bunch of times. This is Story Protocol, our big win, and it was up 42x so far. One of our members who just joined the property circle named Jose, he put 50,000 in this deal, and he's sitting on a cool $2 million profit on one deal. Now, look, let me tell you one thing. You're not going to make 40x on a property. All right. It's just not going to happen. But the risk is much lower. So you have a much higher chance of getting that 40, 50, 60, 70% return back. But it's going to be capped at some point. I'm sure we'll do a 2x at some point. I doubt we'll do a 5x, right? Because we're doing these quick turnaround times. And so understand it's a different type of investment than this. But since it has that low risk and high reward, it's worth putting in your portfolio. And of course, a lot of you know we've been investing in this guy's billion-dollar fund. This is Dan Tapiero. He's a good friend of mine. And we put $1 million into his fund about in 2022. It's now given us a 4x back. We think it's going to return 8x. So another $8 million back to us probably by the end of next year when he's got a bunch of IPOs coming. We're actually putting another $1 million into his second fund. And I think we're going to do even better. And so we have a track record of making our members lots of money. And that's what I plan on doing here. I always tell this story. I left the city of London because I got tired of making money for myself. I know it sounds silly, but it wasn't making me happy. And I wasn't doing anything that made me feel fulfilled. I felt kind of empty and gross inside. I don't know. It's hard to explain. And I created London Real. And now what I love more than anything is making other people filthy rich. Like, I love it. I just get so excited when my members get wealthy. And what I love doing now is I get to create things and I get to explore possibilities. I get to learn things and I get to build a great community of people that are like family that get to go on this great adventure together. So now I'm happy. I wasn't happy then. And I found what I really like doing is making money for the whole group of us. Folks, one of the reasons we win in blockchain is because we invest alongside the biggest names. These are sometimes $5, $10 billion funds that we've invested alongside names you've heard of like Coinbase Ventures, Andreessen Horowitz, Galaxy Digital, and we're doing the same with property in Dubai. And so, of course, we've now invested, I think it's now over $24 million dollars into over 100 deals via our media and capital channel of London Mill Ventures. And we're now recognized in the industry. We were voted the best venture capitalist of the year last year, and I accepted this award actually in Singapore. Of course, in Dubai, I was given the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Global Family Office Investment Summit for the incredible returns we had in our blockchain investments and also the content I produced. And of course, now in crypto, everybody knows who I am for some reason because I'm the only guy 54 who's 54 years old who's crazy enough to lace up those gloves and get in the ring against these young punk kids. The first kid was 27. The second kid was 19, Kate. What are they trying to do? Kill me? The next one's going to be, you can't get much younger than that. Maybe like 10 years old. But that last kid, man, he was big. 6'3", South African, full of beans. But after 3 rounds, he definitely didn't want any more. Somebody said 2 more rounds, and yeah, it would have been a different story. But it was a lot of fun. And look, this media helps us get deals. It just does at the end of the day. So this is helpful for all of us. So how can we maximize our investment returns? I alluded to it earlier, but I want to be really clear. Well, you can listen to Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is considered really one of the gods and geniuses of investing. And he says diversification is the holy grail of investing. What does he mean? Well, it's been mathematically proven that if you invest in a variety of non-correlated assets, it improves your investment return. So what does that mean? Well, I can put all my money in gold, but if I put, 1/5 of my money in gold and 1/5 of my money in a non-correlated asset like equities, and 1/5 of my money in real estate, and 1/5 of my money in crypto, and 1/5 of my money in bonds, over time, you're going to make more money because the returns are greater. It's called diversification, and it's actually now been mathematically proven. And that is basically what we're doing here. So this is a typical portfolio of one of the members of our crypto, investment club. And you can see they have about 20% of their portfolio in crypto, which is probably high compared to the rest of the world. They've got about 20% in fixed income, 15% in stocks, 15% in cash, and they probably have about 30% in real estate right now between their own home and maybe another home. And all I'm suggesting is you take that real estate investment and you make it in Dubai luxury instead. And so what this does is this actually complements blockchain. I'm not saying get out of blockchain. I'm saying stay in it, but also go into Dubai real estate, but also have a balanced portfolio. Don't put 100% of your money in this. Don't put 100% of your money in crypto. Diversification is the secret. And every time you get tempted not to diversify, slap yourself, right away because it's always a bad idea. Always. And I've seen it over my decades of trading and investing. You want to keep the diversification. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. And the truth is, I could stay here in London and complain about the government and talk about the taxes and this and that, or I could do something about it. And so we're not going to sit around and complain and about the taxation and the lack of growth. We're going to go somewhere where there's a bunch of money being made, and we're going to make our investors wealthy. That's what we're doing. And so we're voting with our feet. We're going to Dubai. We're going to find these opportunities, and we're going to create some incredible results. Meanwhile, everybody else is busy, complaining. We're going to actually be changing our game and creating our future reality. Folks, this is Ben Bhandari. He is considered the top real estate broker in Dubai. He moved there 20 years ago from Toronto, and he's been through the good and the bad and the ugly, right? '08 in Dubai was a shocker. It was a financial crisis. It hit Dubai worse than probably any place in the world, and he stayed. He stayed even though everything went to zero. He is also the star of Million Dollar Listing UAE, all right? And their second season just dropped. It's like the #1 show, and it's dropping right as we see record property boom take center stage in Dubai. And there he is. There's Ben on the show. And I got to sit down with Ben about a month ago, and this is what he told me about Dubai. I said, why is it here? Why do people want to invest in here? What's going on? Are we in a bubble? I asked him all of this stuff. And he kind of gave me the whole scoop, and this is what he said.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, to bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. His Highness, he's just created a marketing machine. And they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
There's really no comparison. You have 1,000 families moving to Dubai weekly. Everybody's looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here because of tax reasons, because of safety, because of security, because they want to park their money somewhere safe as well. There's so many factors. I mean, the list goes on. We can just sit here till tomorrow morning. Everyone moves to Dubai. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
There it is. Safety, security, stability. He can't talk about it enough. If you go to Dubai, then that's probably all you're going to hear from the people. They're just going to go on and on and on. I don't know if you've heard the analogy or the story, but you can take your Rolex watch and you can set it on top of your iPhone and put it on the sidewalk. You can even plug your watch into some socket, your iPhone into some socket, and you can go back a day later and it's still there. All right. This is what happens. And I've seen it happen. There's no crime. We don't lock our doors. There's no homelessness. There's no drugs. There's no nonsense, right? It's it's kind of incredible. And once you go there, you'll kind of realize it. So definitely give it a try and give it a taste. Just jumping back into this thing. Takeaways. Dubai has safety and security. We know that. The leadership attracts investment. This family has this 100-year vision and they're not slowing down. Zero personal taxes, zero capital gains tax. And of course, it's a playground for the wealthy. And honestly, everybody in between. There's not only wealthy people there, there's people of medium incomes, there's all this incredible service sector. The service in Dubai is better than anywhere in the world, by far. And again, I sound like I work for the tourism board, but I don't. But I feel like I do. Everybody that goes there starts acting like they work for the tourism board. Um, so how do we create these outsized returns in real estate? It's all about deal flow, folks. It's all about access. And that's what I learned on Wall Street. The deals I'm showing you, I bet you've never heard of before. Has anyone heard of a luxury transformation project before? Raise your hand. Like I honestly, most people don't even know this niche exists. And quite frankly, our partners are trying to keep it quiet, all right? And so I will not talk about specifics because I want this to be our secret, at least for a little while. I think we got a couple years before people will get hip to this. And so it's all about the right deal. And of course, that comes from relationships. And I've been visiting Dubai for the last 5 years, building relationships with members of government, big crypto influencers, VCs, and all the people in between. I've been on stage interviewing people. I actually premiered our latest film, We Will Not Be Silenced, there. And here I am hanging out with CZ from Binance. I think he's worth a couple hundred billion, actually. We've been building this network there, and all of this is helping us source these deals. Of course, I've also traveled everywhere, and just all of these relationships builds our brand, and it also makes our investment circle stronger. The bigger our circle is, the more investments we can do, and that all helps a ton. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best, and by doing so, you get some great returns. And I get these term sheets sent over sometimes by partners that say, "Hey, we got this deal coming up. These are the kind of returns we can see." And again, look, they have a low, medium, and high target sale price, but you can see that like there are some serious numbers involved here. And we're going to be getting deals like this in the future. This is our investor portal that Mark was talking about. Koyo's seen this and some of our members, and we'll be adding more deals, more documentation here to where we can really start doing these investments faster and faster and faster. In the beginning, we'll have to get everybody set up and KYC'd and get everybody comfortable with the SPV structures, but then we'll be able to rattle these off very, very fast. And of course, we have to understand the financial tools. What do I mean? Well, the SPV is really important here. It stands for Special Purpose Vehicle, and it's basically a standalone legal entity. So the owners directly control the assets, but it also isolates you from any risk or personal liability. Very important. It's a ring fence structure. It has stronger legal protection, cleaner tax treatment, and it's easier for financing and partnerships. It's actually the only reason you can put in as little as $10,000 because it's an SPV, even though most of our members are putting in more like 25 or 50 per deal. So this is important. It's transparent, and it just allows everyone to be comfortable, including me, including you, that all of this is going the way it's going to go. And we know that we own those assets at the end of the day. Folks, how do you create generational wealth? You have to pull the trigger. If you don't get off the sidelines, you're not going to do this. And good luck trying to find this on your own. No chance. And good luck trying to do this for small amounts. No chance. And honestly, you need to be on the ground. I'm going to be going to these sites every couple of weeks. I think we're going to have live webcams there so we can literally track the progress of these as they go along. And that's what I'm going to be doing, like 100% for the next 5 months, is sourcing deals and keeping you updated on what's going on in that city. I know a lot of people there. I know a lot of big influencers there as well. And all these connections really help. So if you wait, you miss it. Why? Well, SPVs can't expand, and we can't expand the properties. Once you pay for the property and the permits and the renovations, there's no more money. So you can't say, Brian, can I put an extra 100 grand in a deal where there's nowhere to put the money? So there's literally a specific amount allowed, and then there's nothing more. That's different than a blockchain startup. Usually you can get an extra 100 grand of investment. Early investors get priority. So if you're early, you get that. Deals are going to close fast, and once the allocations are gone, they're gone. Of course, this is for serious investors only. This is what I want. I don't want anybody who's not serious. And again, this is all about access. That's what we believe here. We want real assets, audited outcomes, transparency, and we just want these real on the ground opportunities that we're going to thrive. Folks, this is about a private membership. That's what you get with the Luxury Property Circle. It's a pathway to premium opportunities. It's vetted by me. It's all, everything is done by me. The whole thing is all based on my reputation there and the reputation of London Real. And like I said, like the projects know that, and we know that when we go into those projects, and they also need to represent our brand as well. And of course, we take that very seriously. Of course, it's a great chance to build real wealth, and you can start from as little as $10,000 per investment, which is very, very low. Our membership is really strong. All right. So we currently have, I think, about 150, 160, 170 members that have come through London Real Ventures to invest capital in both blockchain and real estate deals. This is Tigran. He's one of America's top criminal defense attorneys. He's actually a great crypto attorney as well. He's based out of LA. And he said, inside, you're surrounded by a great group of people you get to learn from. Plus, you get to have access to Brian Rose, who is truly an amazing individual. It's very nice of Tigran to say. He's an incredible guy, super plugged in. I think he's done 60 or 70 deals with us so far. This is Carol. He says, if you don't take action, then nothing will happen because there is no creativity when you're in survival mode. I think a lot of us have been there before where, you're trying to contract and the energy responds to expansion. And so it's all about action. That's what I was taught by the Dan Peñas of the world and Robert Kiyosaki and Grant Cardone. Take action. Action's where you get information. Information you don't get on YouTube. You don't get information listening to a podcast. You get information when you take action because then you feel it. Ouch, that hurts. Ooh, I won. That felt good. Okay, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. And so without action, like you really can't do anything. And so that's why I take action. That's why I jump in the ring. Yeah, I could have, woke up in a hospital. I knew that. Why did I run for mayor of London? I could have been ripped apart to shreds by the newspapers. Oh, that happened. But it's okay. I survived, right? And so I'm all about taking action because it's never as bad as you think it's going to be. And on the other side of that action is where the real opportunity is. And of course, this is Chris Roy. And he said, I never imagined I would get this kind of access. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. We love Chris. Chris is there and a great member of ours and just shows that everyone's really happy to be here. Folks, I would say apply now before this latest deal closes. We want to close this one in the next 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more. There's no Christmas in Dubai, so we can keep moving there. Although Dubai, they will. I mean, New Year's they'll celebrate, but Christmas won't slow them down. So I think we can keep moving this deal forward. I'll be with my family on Christmas, but I'll be thinking about this on Christmas. That's for sure. So don't wait. Future wealth creation is here, obviously, and you can invest alongside the smartest money out there. Apply now with LondonReal.tv/Dubai. We'll stick the link in there. And this is the most powerful money making opportunity I've ever seen. Period. That's where it is. Now, will it be here in 5 years? Maybe not. But right now, we're going to get the lion's share of these deals because of our media platform. And again, let me say one more thing before we go. By the way, here's your link to that video. Go to LondonReal.tv/replay, and you can learn how to invest in Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. And so, yeah, that's kind of how we do that. There we go. And yeah, that's really what I wanted to show everybody here. I think this is an incredible opportunity. And like I said, I'll be thinking about this a lot. It's something that's really on my mind. Obviously, really energized by this. And I really believe that the risk reward here is highly skewed to the upside. And I think I was about to tell a story there. Has anyone heard of Groucho Marx? He was like a famous comedian from the past, right? Yeah. And he had a great phrase. He used to say, I never want to belong to a club that would have me as a member. You like that, Kate? And so whenever I get shown a deal, the first thing I think is, why am I so special to get access to this supposed incredible opportunity, right? I'm very skeptical and very suspicious of anything that gets pushed my way. Now, maybe it's because I worked on Wall Street. Maybe it's because as a well-known personality, I get pitched a lot of nonsense. But what I really want to know is what makes me special? Why am I getting this opportunity? And so if I can figure out why, I get more easily, assured. And so when I know the only reason we're seeing these deals is because of the media platform, that's our gold button on YouTube. It's 1 million subscribers. We're now at 2.25. That's the reason we're seeing these deals. It's not like there's some random group of people that are getting access or getting pitched these things. And so I know that as soon as our media channel goes, our deal flow goes. And I know that might sound harsh, but that actually makes me feel better because I'm like, oh, okay, we're seeing this because we have an unfair advantage. And we're going to exploit this unfair advantage. And we're going to get returns that nobody else is going to get. We're going to get them because of our media platform. And so are you. And our media platform is going to help us, I believe, exit those deals at a higher price. So that always makes me feel good. Whenever I see a deal, I'm suspicious because I just think, wow, there's something wrong here until I can figure out why I'm seeing it or why I get access. And that's why, and that's something I'm really pumped for. So, folks, that's what I got. If you have any questions, please DM them for me. I had Mark Andrew here because he really is the manager inside the property circle, and he's going to be one of your points of contact. And Mark might have already reached out to you. I think Koyo, you probably talked to Mark, perhaps, or maybe you didn't. But he's a guy that might be talking to you on the phone, and it's just good to know him as another point. We also have Maria, who's also on the inside here, and she's the one that can answer all the questions, and we'll get you introduced to her, Koyo. And then we'll have that. We're gonna have our first group call in January once we get through the holidays, and there will be where everybody can see each other, talk to each other, and we can really have a full discussion. And we can also, what we're doing with you, Koyo, right now is I'm trying to learn as much about every single member so we can find out what you want, because ultimately we're here to serve you. So, you say, Brian, I want lower risk deals. I want higher risk deals. I want to put $1 million in. I don't want to put $10,000 in. I want exposure to Abu Dhabi, not just Dubai. Okay, cool. All right. This is what I want to hear. Now, who knows? We might even branch out into other cities in the future. But right now, I think for the next 2, 3 years, I think we have a unique opportunity here. And let's finish with one thing. I think a lot of people are scared of the Middle East and are unfamiliar with Dubai. And I think for those reasons, they stay away from something that could be an incredible opportunity. Also, let's be honest, the Yanks are so far away, they can never get there, right? It takes them 20 hours to get there. And also, they got a crazy thing in their head about what happens in the Middle East. My dad, God love him, he just turned 83. We sang happy birthday to him, me and my two boys. And he's like, I don't know if you should be there. I'm like, Dad, let me send the jet. You're gonna love it here. He's like, you're next to Iran. I'm like, Dad, please. It is dangerous. I'm like, Dad, there was 3 school shootings this week in America. Don't tell me something's dangerous, right? And so it's like, come on, Dad. And so every time he does that, but it's funny how when you're there, you point the finger at everything else, and you don't be like, oh yeah, or there's a fire in LA, ruined everything and killed people. And it's like, what are you doing? So a lot of people still have a hang up about Dubai, and I think that's in our interest because I think it keeps them away as investors and it gives us other opportunities. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. Just want to say thanks. I really appreciate everybody being here. A great crowd, a great looking crowd, right, Mark? Oh my gosh, it's just amazing. And so appreciate you all being here. And yeah, apply. I would really love to get to know you a little bit better. It'll take 30 seconds to apply. We can also get you on our radar and find your name if you're a Zoom attendee, but we'll find out who you are anyways. And I think that's it, folks. Just want to say have a wonderful holiday time and experience. I'll be away with my boys and the family a little bit next week, but we will be active as well. So if you want to reach out to us, we enjoy doing this here. Like for us, we don't need a holiday because we love what we do. Like we love broadcasting, we love investing, and we love our membership as well. So we'll be here 24/7 if you need us. I think that's it. Happy holidays to everybody. We'll hopefully see you on the inside, and then we'll see you next year for the big deals as well. All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye. The mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered conscious and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission? Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club? where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments. Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here. In my investment club, it's a 12-month program, 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics.
I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways.
I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals.
Just go in, bam, 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 bam.
This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals.
Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time.
I'm telling you, this is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business.
No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking.
If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this.